Alrighty, so for this example now, we're gonna still multiply two polynomials, but we're just gonna see what it looks like stacked vertically, and you're gonna always gonna get the same answer if you had them both side by side, or now if you stack them. Some prefer one or the other. It's just kind of cool to be able to kind of see both there, and then you can kind of go from whatever one that you like best there. Okay. All right, so here what we do is that you just take one of the bottom terms. It doesn't matter which one you do first, but I'm just going to take 3x first, and then I'm going to multiply it by every term on top. Okay, so I'm going to take my 3x, I'm going to multiply that by a negative 3y, and that right there is going to give me a negative 9xy, right? And then I'm going to take my 3x again, and I'm going to multiply that by 4x, and I'm going to get 12x squared. Okay, and so now what we want to do now is now take our negative y and do the same thing. But what we'll do now is we're gonna put those terms on the second line, and if any of them have common terms, like we know that we can add them together, then we're gonna stack those vertically. It's gonna make it a lot easier just to add and combine like terms. So if I'm gonna go to multiply now, I'm gonna go right here. Negative y times a negative 3y is a positive 3y squared. There's no other 3y squared, so I'm just going to put it right here. Either I'm going to put it to the left or the right. Positive 3y squared. Okay? That's negative y times a negative 3y is a positive 3y squared. Now, negative y times a 4x is going to be a negative 4xy. And I'm going to put that right here, you see, because now these two terms are in common. You see, I'm just going to go ahead and put like a little line right there. I'm going to add these together now. I'm going to combine them. And if I do that, I can add my 4, my negative 9, and my negative 4. So it's going to give me negative 13xy. And then we have a 12x squared, and we have a 3y squared. Okay, so we were only able to combine these two guys right here. These two guys have nothing in common, so basically we're done. All right, so now the order of it may kind of differ when you write your answer. Basically, like you try to write it in descending order, but since there's so many, since none of the terms are in common, like there's a y squared and an x and an xy, basically any order should be okay. For part B now, we're going to do the exact same thing. We'll start with our 2a, and we'll go ahead and start multiplying that first. So we're going to take 2a and multiply that there. So 2a times negative 3 is a negative 6a. 2a squared times 2a is a positive 4a squared. 2a times a negative 6a squared, so 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And then a times a squared is a cubed. And then 2a times 5a cubed is going to be a 10a to the power of 4. Okay? So now, next line down, I'm going to go ahead now and take everything and multiply it by negative 5. So negative 5 times negative 3 is a positive 15. I'm just going to put that off to the side right here because that has nothing to do with any of these, right? They're not common. Negative 5 times 2a is a negative 10a. Ah, see that? Ooh, see? And so I can combine those together right there. Negative 5 times 2a is a negative 10a. Negative 5 times negative 6a squared is a positive 30a squared. Positive 30a squared. Yep. And negative 5 times a 5a cubed is 25a cubed. All right. Draw our line across, and we just basically combine like terms and just add down. So combine those together, and I'll get 16a. Combine these bad boys together, and I'll get 34a squared. Subtract those two guys right there. What's that? 25, 10, 15, so that's 13. A cubed, and then there's nothing to combine there, so I'm just going to drop both of these guys down. 10a to the power 4 and 15. Okay, and that should do it right there.